Hey guys, thanks for checking out the video. I'm Joe, this is my little channel Random Computes. And in this video, cheap doesn't have to be ugly.
We got most of our computer from one guy on Let Go. We got the computer case, a little beat up, a little ugly, but it works. The side panel was in pretty bad shape, so I ended up replacing it with a piece of plexiglass and a couple magnets to keep it secured. The CPU is a i5-2320. It's 4 cores at 3 GHz. The power supply is a Delta 320 watt gold rated power supply. The motherboard is an Optiplex 7010. We got the stock Intel cooler and a Dell fan. And the hard drive is not worth using. It's out of an Xbox 360 or something like that. We're just going to use an SSD. And I also talked him out of 8 gigabytes of RAM and for the grand total of $35.
Alright, so I've been troubleshooting this little computer that I bought for $35. Tried a different RAM. You can't even see it, such a mess in there, but a few different sticks of RAM. I tried a graphics card, and whenever I put the graphics card in, it fits flush there, but we're not going all the way down into the socket. Can't really see it, but it's not all the way flush with that PCI Express. So I think the motherboard is not sitting on standoffs. That could be an issue. Could have fried everything at this point.
Ended up getting lucky, added the standoffs, and the computer booted up and acted just fine. So I started checking out graphics cards. This is the one that I ended up finding. The ad says $250 for an R7 260X, which is just ridiculous. But I read the description. It says works as should. I see these going for 50 plus on eBay, so this is a steal. And I'm like, well, that doesn't really make any sense for $250. I thought, well, maybe he meant to say $25. So I sent him a message, and he replied back pretty quickly. He was like, oh, well, that's why nobody contacted me about this card. So I ended up picking it up for $25.
A little bit dirty, but we can clean that up, no problem. Wanted to test it out, see if it works, and notice a little bit of an issue. We're hitting our connector, our 24-pin connector. We're going to have to modify the shroud a little bit to make it fit our cheap computer. One of the issues with dealing with a pre-built motherboard. Alright, after a few minutes with the Dremel, this is what we ended up with. It fits in there, there's no interference. Okay, so here's a build. We got the Delta power supply. I painted it black, added a sticker, added a little bit of bling. Plasti dipped the motherboard. There's plenty of video tutorials on YouTube, so I'm not going to bother telling you guys how to do it. It's super easy. I ordered some white heatsink spreaders for the RAM, but they ended up not showing up. You know, it's kind of normal for AliExpress. Here's our cooler. Was going to go with this one. It's a $7 one, also from AliExpress. To use the headers from the fan on the motherboard, you have to swap these around. And I ended up swapping them around, and it got them wrong. Ended up frying this fan, which is no real loss anyways. It actually performs worse than the stock cooler that came with this setup, so not a real loss. It's just looked a little bit better, that's all. There's our $5 cable extensions, our R7 260X. Here's just a random fan. I actually wired it correctly and it works.
For the benchmarks, I'm going to have the game name and the settings used in the bottom right hand corner. You guys don't need to hear me stumble through the title and everything else, so enjoy. for our build total, we got the computer for $35, the GPU for $25. I bought an SSD off eBay for $7, and I got the cooler off of AliExpress for $9. That gives us a total of $76 until you start adding stuff for looks. We got the cable extensions for $5, the RGB strip for $4, and $10 for the plexiglass. So $19 for looks, so for a grand total of $95. Overall, for $95, it's not too bad of a deal. If you're using a motherboard from a Dell or HP, you will have some wiring to do so you don't get the stop errors when you boot. Or you can just buy the adapters, but I went ahead and made my own just so I don't have to spend so much money. It's not the best deal that I've gotten, but it's more of a common deal you can find around. What I wanted out of this video was to show that with just a little bit of effort, cheap computers can look decent. You don't have to have a spaghetti mess like the Verge guys build. And of course, someone with more talent could definitely make this look much better, but overall I think it looks decent. Thanks for watching, and as always, if you like this video, hit like. If you didn't, that's cool, hit dislike. And if you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. And maybe I'll see you in the next one. Thanks guys, have fun.